Hello, and welcome to another episode of Conversations with the Fly Aunt. I am your residential fly aunt, Ebony Ivory. I'm so glad that you can join us today for another episode. Please don't forget to engage with me on my social media platforms, The Fly Aunt, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. So let's engage and let's get today's conversation underway. Yay! Okay, so for today's conversation, we are going to discuss friendships. Friends. How many of us do we really have friends? Like, are you a good friend? Are you a good friend to others? And is the friendship term used way too loosely? So let's get into it. So let's start here. What kind of friend are you? Are you the busy friend? You know, you're busy. We catch up a month or two later and it's like we never missed a beat. Are you the friend that only wants to text? I only communicate with you via text. Are you the friend that picks up the phone and call because you want to hear my voice and you want to make sure that I'm good? Are you the strong friend? Are you the friend that everybody leans on and gets the advice from and just values your opinion and what you say? Are you the friend that emotionally dumps on your friends without ream or warning, excuse me? You just go in. They answer the phone and it's diarrhea of the mouth. Are you that friend? Are you the supportive friend that is like, anything you need, I got you? And we're not talking about money, but you've shown and proved that you show up for your friends. You're always there for your friends. That's what we're going to get into today. We're going to discuss all types of levels and all types of friendships. All right, so I got my iPad here and we're going to see. We want to talk about what's the definition. What is the actual definition of friendships, right? So let's go here and get into it. All right. So the dictionary version of friend: as a person who has a strong liking for and trust in another person who is not an enemy. Okay? Now, that part about not an enemy is really sizzling in my spirit for some reason. So let's start off here. I'm going to go off topic just a little bit. I've witnessed, and you may have too, and let me know in the comment section. Have you guys ever heard the term, I'm going to feed this person with a long-handed spoon? That cliche or that statement has come to grind my gears. As a woman of a particular age, I do not subscribe to that. Anybody in your circle at this point in your life, either you should be able to fully trust them or let them go. There should not be any point in your friendship at this point, I'm in my 40s, that you should be holding back to the point you only want to feed them with a long handle spoon. You don't want to share anything in its entirety with them. You don't trust them. You don't value them. Why are they in your circle? Why do you keep in communication with them? That's a question that I would like for you to ask yourself. If you can't fully trust the people in your circle or have them in your circle and you got to feed them with a long-handed spoon, why are they in their circle? I'm looking at you. I want to know why you keeping them in your circle. All right, let's get to the topic. So the type of friend that I am, I would say that I'm the supportive friend, I'm the encourager, I'm the motivator, and I am proudly, now I can say, I'm the logical one. I haven't always been the logical friend. I used to run on my emotions and my other friends would have to calm me down and get me, to get me to woo-sigh a minute. But I'm the logical friend in my friend group. And I take a great honor and I think a lot of people should view this way as well. When your friends come to you and they feel comfortable enough to seek your opinion and seek advice, that is a friend that you should value. And I'm going to tell you why. Being vulnerable with another individual is not always the easiest thing. So when you have your friends that come to you and talk to you and disclose what they're disclosing to you, you should really take that as a sense of honor, that they value your friendship, and that they also trust you. I'm like a vault when it comes to my friends. They go ahead, they deposit what they gonna deposit, and that's it. And it never comes back around. And even because in friendships, sometimes you may fall out with a friend. That stuff never comes back up, and it never should. If you have a season where you and your friend fall out for a certain amount of time, whatever it may be, and even if you never speak to them again, whatever they shared with you, you should never, ever repeat it, disclose it in order to try to hurt them or even speak about it. Continue even though the friendship may not be in existence in this point in time, still continue to value the friendship. So that's who I am in my friend circle. Let me know in the comment section what type of friend you are. Okay, so let's talk about how you move in your friendship, so to speak. Some people, I think, maybe use the term friend too loosely. I have an example on a TV show that I'm currently watching. People have friend, like FRENN, right? And then there's friend with the D on the end, the actual spelling of friend, right? So I think it's important to know if you're the friend with the D or if you're just the friend with the two N's. Because that way you can accept your lane and accept what roles you play in that other person's life. Because I think sometimes people confuse that. They may think, oh, this person is my friend. And that person is like, nah, you don't have the D with friend on it. You haven't earned that stage in my life. And believe it or not, there are people like that. And I know you say, well, you can have associates or, just peers, however you view it. But I'm going to say, let's break it down into two. You got the friend with the double N on the end, and then you have the friend with the D. So what kind of friend it's important to know what kind of friend you are in those two situations. Are you the friend with the N or are you the friend with the D? So friendships are similar, get what I'm saying here, to relationships, because there's a bond. You have a liking and you have a trust. There's a bond in your friendships, and a liking and a trust. I'm going to repeat it again. And it's important to understand that, have you ever fallen out with a friend and like you've missed them, when you're happy, when you're sad, those kind of things. That's a part of, it's a relationship, but a different type of relationship. It's not a romantic relationship, but it is a friendship. So you may run into those issues. So for me, I'll just share a little bit for me. Like, I have the majority of my friendships are 10 plus years. And I do have some newly established friendships that I have as well. So for me, I already stated that I'm the logical friend in the group. But I also want to say, if you're a friend, it's important that you show up for your friend, right? It's not just about, just answering the phone when I'm there, or, responding to a text, or we sharing a TikTok, or we're sharing an Instagram reel or something like that. Because we have those friends, our little social media friends, we have those things as well. So for me, I think friendship should involve being supportive. And I'm not speaking on finances. I want you to be abundantly clear with that. Being supportive. Like for me, I have friends since I started this podcast and my social media journey. My friends, they share all of my stuff. They plug me constantly. That's support. And I love and I appreciate and I value that. Like, it doesn't cost anything for them to like or share or even comment or like share the link to my episode. I so appreciate that. So being supportive and showing up, that's a part of the friendship package when you dealing with myself. And in return, I'm going to do the same thing. If you're posting your videos, I'm going to show up and I'm going to like, I'm going to share, and all of the things that you give me, I'm going to give you. So there's some, and also within that, I have some boundaries when it comes to my friendships. So, and I think it's important that you not only have boundaries in your relationships, but you should have boundaries in your friendships. And I'm going to give you a tidbit of something that I learned very early in my, like, I want to say my late 19, no, when I was in my teens, because I didn't even have any kids. So I was like maybe 18 or 19. And this is where this boundary comes from. I had a friend and we were at breakfast and she invited one of her other friends. And we were young, of course, young and turnt, as I like to say. And my friend was sharing her boudoir stories. I'll say that, her boudoir stories about her significant other. And she was sharing, and it was good. The tea was good. So this other friend, because I don't want to put any names out there, her boyfriend and the other friend, they were away at college. Okay? So my friend is back home with me, and my friend's boyfriend and her friend were away at college. Now at the table while we were having breakfast and she was, spilling his tea, and I noticed her friend was like, kind of giggling. She was like, "Ooh, girl," and very, very intrigued to another level. How about a year later, that said friend slept with my friend's boyfriend and they share a child together? That's where my boundary comes from. Me and my friends, we do not discuss our boudoir stories. Like, we may say, "Oh, yes, it was good. I kicked it with him, this and that," but I don't share nothing else. And I'm not saying that, "Oh, well, you should know your friends better than that. They were young and this and that." I'm just saying that taught me a lesson. Sometimes you have to pull back and you're not trying to pique people's interest too much to that point. So that's a boundary that I have in my friendships. Put in the comment descriptions if you agree or disagree. And also put in the comment section, do you have a boundary with your friend? I would love, love, love to hear it. So another thing about friendships is that if this is your friend, it goes both ways. I should be able to give advice and I should be able to take advice from my friendships. I have seen quite a bit lately that because you've shared, vented, whatever the case may be with said friend, y'all have a falling out because there's a difference of opinion. What is that about? Why are we falling out with our friends that we're supposed to share this stuff with, and we should feel comfortable sharing with it because there's a difference of opinion? I want people to understand that your friendships are not to always go along to get along. Sometimes your friends are placed in your life to challenge your way of thinking. We have to evolve as people, and sometimes that comes with challenges. So I don't want to hear any friendships that have been broken because it was just a simple miscommunication or difference of opinion. There's a term that we can agree to disagree. We do not have to be so rigid in our thinking that it has to be this way or that way. Let's learn to agree to disagree and also give one another grace. Now, what are some toxic traits in a friendship? Now, honey, I am not perfect, even though I appear to be so. No, I'm just kidding. So, what my toxic trait in my friendships that I have learned is toxic and I have actively been working on. When I love my friends, I love my friends. So my toxic trait is I hold grudges on behalf of my friends. Crazy, right? So give an example. In my friendship, and this is not if it's a significant other, this is anybody. If you hurt my friend, I got a problem with you. Hard stop. So you know why it's toxic? This could be subjective. It's because guess what? My friend has forgiven you and moved past it, and I haven't forgotten it. Now that can cause some tension maybe in your friendships. So I've learned to navigate that. If you've forgiven it, then I have to forgive it as well. That's it. That's all. And at first, it was hard for me to subscribe to that, but I've learned that, hey, as the old people say, if she like it, I love it. If he like it, I love it. So I also want to get into this. Now, this might be a little controversial. What do you all think about having the opposite sex as a best friend? Many people do it. Many people have, opposite sex best friends. So as for me, I don't like it and I don't want to deal with it. And I'm going to give you a few reasons why. So one, in my opinion, I feel like the only reason that this opposite sex you're not in a relationship with is because one person doesn't want it. I believe if there's a space and an opportunity, that person would pursue it. That's number one. Number two is, and maybe I'm wrong, and this is something that I need to work on. You can put it in the comment section. But number two is, me as a woman, I don't want to compete with anybody else's thought process when it comes to my significant other. Meaning, I don't need no other woman in my man's ear. It should be me, his mama, and his sisters, and we can discuss the order of that. But I won't get into a relationship with anyone that I know has a significant other that's a female. I won't do it. I'm not entertaining it, and me personally, I just won't do it. And you may say, well, Auntie, what's the reason? I said, well, that's one of my reasons. And also, I don't want to, it could be a sense of insecurity, but I don't need to be worried or have any qualms or concerns that this person over here wants something more from my significant other. That's just it, and that's just all. And that's a part of that's my boundaries. Like, I'm not gonna get into anything with someone that I know has a best friend that's a lady, and try to change anything about them, make them what. I'm not doing all of that. Why? There are plenty of men that don't subscribe to that. And then also, I'm sure there are men out there that don't want their lady having a male that's a best friend, or having someone close to them that, that another man is in her ear either. I mean, let me know what you guys think. So, and lastly, I want to touch on this. And this is specifically for us as Black women. I want us to work on giving each other more grace. A lot of us women are going through things that we may be embarrassed about, or we may be shameful about. I want us, sometimes, you may just not hear from your friend. I want us to get out of the habit maybe of just letting it go and letting them figure it out. I want us to get to a point where you pick up the phone and reach out and listen to your friend's voice and say, friend, are you okay? And they may say, yeah, I'm okay. I want us to get into the habit of reiterating, friend, are you okay? Because that second time, they know it's not just pleasantries being extended. They know that you're calling to really check in on them. I want us to give our friendship some grace. I want us to not to be in this thing where we're so quick to cut people off and disengage from them and just kind of throw them to the side. Let's not do that. Let's strengthen our friendships amongst women. Sometimes we get a bad reputation that we can't even maintain friendships. How many women do you hear say, "Oh, I don't do women," or I don't like meeting women. Women have wronged me and this and that. Let's change the narrative. Let's change the narrative. Let's open ourselves to have more intentional and thoughtful and magnificent relationships. Friendships, excuse me. These days, I've mentioned on a previous episode, my singlehood episode, which you can go in a playlist and catch. I mentioned, hey, let's go on Bumble. Go on the friend side. Get to know some other women. And I just want to warn you, not all women that you encounter on Bumble have it together. Just like on the men's side. You're going to have to vet these ladies, okay, to see if they align with your values and with your morals. It's the same thing. You going out to brunch, going out to breakfast, meeting and seeing if they align with you and seeing if they match your test. They pass your friendship test. I have met a really great friend. We're still friends to this day that I met through that process of trying to open up my tribe. So Bumble is a great way to meet new friends. But let's start extending grace to each other. Let's start communicating more, or even just saying, look, friend, I'm going through some things right now. I'm going to fall back a little bit. I love you and I care for you. And this is about me. This is not about you. A simple statement. Don't have your friends out here twisting in the wind, wondering what's going on with you. Communicate. Put your big girl drawers on and start communicating. Giving each other grace. You gave that man grace when he cheated on you. Not once, but twice. You gave that man grace when he had a baby on you. Why you can't give your sister girl some grace? Let's do better as women. Let's hold each other accountable with love. With love. I know we get caught up in saying whatever it is that we have to say and how we need to say it. Let's be respectful of one another's feelings. Because guess what? The people closest to you cut you the most with the way that they speak to you. So let's be cognizant of that. So I'm going to bring the episode to a close with this. Repair a fractured relationship, friendship. If there's somebody that you haven't heard from in a while, pick up the phone. Do it the old school way. Pick up the phone and reach out. That's all I'm saying. And if you don't get the reception that you're looking for and the vibe is not there, then you've tried and you've done what you needed to do. But let's work on bridging the gap, giving each other grace, and getting our friendship on. I'm going to bring the episode to a close. If you want to build your brand and advertise, reach out to me at Conversations with a Fly Aunt. I would love to help you build your brand and advertise with me. You can follow me on my social media platforms, The Fly Aunt. We're on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. And if you want to listen to the audio of Conversations with the Fly Aunt, we are on Spreaker, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Again, I thank you so much for spending time with me today. And until the next conversation, bye-bye.